Welcome to Two Towns Garden Tour. We are here at McClellan Farm Road in my garden, and we will take you to a number of interesting gardens in Jericho and Underhill. I am Jan de Vries, webmaster for Two Towns Online, and I will introduce our hosts. And Squires, thank you for having us here and showing your garden. And so, tell us about it. What are you doing here? You're spending all your time here.
I am spending my time here, and I think the garden is a recreation of my great-grandmother's garden, because I grew up playing in her garden. So things had to be tall and things had to be overgrown, like a Victorian garden.
Was that in this place as well?
No,
or there was
I grew up in Maine.
Okay, that's where you got the ideas.
Right, but I think that's what a lot of gardeners recreate what they did from a childhood. And it was in her garden. We played in lilacs, we played among the phlox. So if you look around here, you'll see the big things that they had to be bigger because I grew up, but I think that's what the whole garden is about. Plus proportion. I kept moving things until the proportion pleased my eye. Well, the divisions were planned. We originally divided it up in quadrants that we could mow, and then I ended up filling in the quadrants with gardens as time went on.
Okay.
We've been here 25 years now.
Right.
So, and then things needed to be moved in. The garden started back and it's moved up till the proportions pleased my eye. So I don't know if they please somebody else's, but it pleases my eye when I walk through it. Well, this is a man-made pond we put in here, mainly for water lilies. My husband didn't want water lilies in our big pond down below, so we put this one in so that we could have water lilies, and we can see them from the kitchen sink, so it's very pleasant. We have frogs and crayfish, and even a deer comes in and eats the lily pads here.
And what about mosquitoes?
It doesn't seem to be a big problem. If you look, you see there's none on the pond.
No, I don't see that.
I think the frogs probably keep the mosquitoes under control. This garden here has been designed around the magnolia tree. And as the magnolia tree has grown, I've taken things out and moved them further and further out around the garden. So it can't get much bigger because I'm running out of space to mow around here. And this blooms early May.
Right.
Yeah.
You just said that gardening is for you a kind of painting.
Right.
That you see what's happening and then you make changes because of what you see. So it's a sort of, if I understand you well, almost a conversation with the garden.
It's a conversation with the garden. Right. If it doesn't grow the way I think it should, then I have to obey what he wants to do and change things.
Also, I think there's a similarity with painters that you express who you are, because you make certain decisions which are yours, and another gardener will do different things.
Right. My garden has to dance. If you look at it, you'll see that there's different levels and things are
Different
loose
levels,
and they change.
okay.
There's kind of a rhythm to it. And other gardeners have everything very formal and things don't move. But I like my garden to dance. This garden here is one of native plants, and remember I said I wanted things tall, so I have a native milkweed that is growing giants, and this here is giant angelica, which grows along the river, and I managed to find a company that had the seeds, so I put it in here. This walk here is a native plum, and I design gardens so that I have something over my head, and I also design gardens or choose plants that wildlife will use, and the wildlife will come and take every single plum off from here by the end of October. This here is the Alice in Wonderland garden. We have her key, and we have her drink me, and surrounded by lilies. There used to be other flowers in here, but I found that they overtook the lilies. The lilies weren't strong enough, so now we just have lilies in this garden. Again, my husband had cedar, so we have a chair in the background that got big as Alice got small.
How does the story go again? I drink this and then I'm transported.
Right, it said drink me, and she drank it and she got small so she could get down the hall. Then she ate cake and got bigger, and then she ate mushrooms and got smaller, and she went from one size to another quite a bit. Well, we got interested in Alice in Wonderland because of Charles Dobson, who was a professor of the time, and he had dinner parties with all of the people of the time, and he incorporated the science of the day, plus his friends. Like the White Rabbit was a gentleman who was always late that irritated everybody there, so he put the White Rabbit in. And the growth and the changes and the going backwards and forwards was partially from the science, and partially it was one of the first times they'd used the base 2 that we now use in our computer system. Goes back to some of his thinking, because he was a mathematician, remember? There's always been a debate, did he know that mushrooms were psychedelic or not, but I don't know that.
Oh, right. Okay, because the whole Alice in Wonderland has this psychedelic
change in size, right.
Your consciousness is changing.
Right.
Okay. So
and I used to know who I was, but I don't know who I am anymore.
Right.
I knew who I was yesterday, but I don't know who I am today.
That's very psychedelic.
Right?
Yeah.
This is my tic-tac-toe garden, and I generally leave it so either one can win, whoever wants to. So we made the things out of concrete, and around it are the zinnias and the marigolds for the butterflies. This is the beginning of the area that we honor Beatrice Potter. And we honor Beatrice Potter because she was one of the very first people to buy land and just set it into a conservation district. And she did left 4,000 acres in England.
When we were standing at that toadstool, at the mushroom, you said that has psychedelic qualities, and even just walking through your garden, you come from such different places that it is almost a psychedelic experience in itself. It is so different. You are telling so many stories, and so I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.